Folks, welcome back to Threes and Bubbo is here with you this afternoon. So, this story took place in the T-38 before we had the throttle guards. Before they put these mechanical throttle guards on the throttle quadrant, you could bring the throttles back to idle, and we had these levers on the front of them. You lifted them up and then brought them up over the gate, and that's the way we shut the engines down. Well, we had a couple inadvertent engine shutdowns throughout the years, and they talked about putting throttle guards on it to prevent it. I suppose it was a good deal, a good plan. I never had any problem with them, but that's not to say I wouldn't have. But anyway, this one day, I was the chief of stand of Val at Randolph, and I got a call, and we had an IP flying on the wing at Seguin on a two-ship formation approach, and they could only do I don't remember if we were allowed to do formation touch and goes at Seguin, or those were just done at Randolph. I don't remember. I don't see why not. But anyway, so this guy's number 2, and they're just about to configure him. Matter of fact, they were configuring, and lead puts his gear down. Well, the IP and the number 2 aircraft had a little bit of overtake on lead, so he jerks the throttles back and shut both engines down. Now we fly at this part of the approach, we're about 1,500 feet above the ground. So there he is, 1,500 feet, both engines are spooling down. And he looks up and goes, "Oh crap." It's not a lot of time to think about it. And fortunately, what he did, he took both throttles, slammed them into AB, afterburner. Well, when we did that in a 38, we got continuous ignition and fuel flow. But the only problem we had going against us is the airspeed was somewhere around 240 or 250, and the airspeed envelope was a little bit higher than that. At any rate, the published restart envelope was a little bit higher than that. Anyway, he got one lit. Thank God, because with both engines quit, he was starting to settle into the dirt. So he gets one motor started, and kind of got up. I guess it really rang his bell, and after he landed, they had to pull the seat pack out of his butt. Anyway, the pucker factor was pretty high there. So he came back to Randolph and landed and filled out the incident report and whatnot. I knew the guy. I knew of him. I knew he had a reputation he had a history of over-Gs and overspeeds. Now, every one of us has over-G'd the airplane on occasion, and occasionally we overspeed flaps or gear. Unfortunately, it's the nature of our business. And this guy just had more than what I would call the usual. And so I went in and sat down with the DO, and I said, now I'm a lieutenant colonel, and this guy's a colonel. And I said, listen, we need to take a hard look at this guy. I said, he just about lost a jet. And I said, he's got a history of over-Gs and overspeeds. And I'd done my homework. I had a list of the events that he had been involved in. And this was at Randolph. I also knew that the base where he was a basic IP, he had a few operator factor incidents. We'll put it at that. He came close. That guy was probably one of the luckiest guys I ever met. Anyway, the DO let me know in no uncertain terms that we were not going to send any of our instructors to a flying evaluation board, because every IP at Randolph at the time was hand-picked throughout the command or whatever. He met a board, and we would either approve or disapprove of them based on their flying record. Well, this DO said, we're not going to do that to one of our IPs. Okay, sir. Not a problem. About a week later, I'm up flying, and I hear an exchange between two-ship and San Antonio approach that we would call for recovery. and it kind of went like San Antonio approach Reno 17 flight requesting recovery Randolph. And the air traffic controller came back and said, Roger, Reno 17, he's radar contact, he's fly heading 180. Okay, head south. And this guy comes back and he says, San Antonio approach, Reno 17, he says, do you realize we want to recover at Randolph Air Force Base in Texas? Oh, no, don't do that. And I'm sitting there listening to them. Don't do that. And I hear air traffic, San Antonio approach control come back and say, Reno 17, do you realize that once you get back in my area, I'm happy to give you radar vectors? He says, right now you're 23 miles north of my area, of my airspace. Oh, God. So, okay, not only does this guy over-G and overspeed the jet, shuts the engines down, but he can't navigate either. Okay, fine. As it was explained to me later, this guy had an assignment to AFIT, the Air Force Institution of Technology, and he was going to go there for a year and study aerodynamics or some damn thing. And then he was going to go back to the academy where he came from as an academic instructor. So I did the Gozentas and said, by the time he gets all through all that, I'll be long gone. So I'm good with that. Just don't let him have any incidents before now and then. Yeah, we had a few of those, but not many. Most of our guys were really good guys, really good sticks. But every now and then one would come out of wherever and bite you. Anyway, I don't know why that came to mind today. I guess I just needed something else to talk about. This is Bobo Base Gear. Stop with both engines running.